Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hello if you are new. My name is Jess and today I'm going to be walking you through my new finance tracker that I've built in Notion. I built this purely because a bunch of you have been requesting this to become part of my second brain, and just in general I've had a few requests about a finance tracker. I've never been able to build one before that I'm really happy with. I used to have one, but I recently removed it from my shop because it just wasn't good enough in my opinion. This one is a lot more in depth and let's go through it page by page. So you start on this main wallet page and this has an overview of basically everything within the template. There is a dashboard down the side as well as a little overview of the current month and the current year, your total income, total expenses, and your net income. All of this is automatic. You never have to touch these overviews because the month view that it is showing you will update automatically each month, and so will the year, as well as all the figures in here are pulled from other data within the template, so you literally don't have to touch it. So along the top, I have these quick buttons for you to add your income, add an expense, add a transfer, add a subscription, add an account. And this is just to make it easy for you. If you want to do this perhaps on mobile, there's just this easy button right at the top of the page. Underneath this, we have a view of your accounts. Obviously, change these, update these to suit your own needs and your accounts, but these are just some example ones that I included. They are split up into different types. So for example, you can have a basic bank account. I have one that's like a side hustle. So for like my Etsy income, I like to track it in a separate account, like a mortgage if you have one, a credit card if you have one, a savings account, everything you need to know basically. And then down here, we have another section that will update automatically. This is on a monthly view. So each month these will change, but this is all of your transactions from the month. So we've got income, expenses, and transfers. And the handy thing is that this is another way that you can add an income source or an expense for the month. And I'll go through that in a little bit. Down here, we have your income targets and expense budget. So for income target, if you're like me and you have a side hustle and you have a monthly target that you would like to reach, you can input this in here and just set, for example, what you want your monthly target to be. Let's say it's 200. And then any income that you've input into Notion templates as an income will apply to this income target. And it will let you know if you're on target. So for example, our target was 200, but we've made 250. It will tell you you're on target. Or if our target was 300, it will let us know that we are below target currently for the month. And this is just a monthly target. So this will stay each month, and each month you will need to update it if you want to change it. And then there is a template that will automatically pull the data for that month down here just so that you can see it at a glance. The same thing goes for your expense budget. So I've got all these expense types. Again, add new ones, change them, do what suits you. But for example, for utilities, we have a monthly budget of $150. Our expenses so far have been $100, let's say. There is then this formula that will let you know how much money you have left in this budget for the month, which is $50. And then there's another formula that will let you know how much of your budget you've used and whether you're on budget or not. And it's the same thing down here where all of the detail will pull in at a glance for you, just for the view of this month. And here's one to show you what it looks like if you're over budget. So our groceries, we spent more than we had, and it's letting us know we've spent 110% of our budget and we are therefore over budget. There's then a view of your subscriptions at a glance. This will just show your active subscriptions, show you how these work in more detail on the subscriptions page. But we finally on this page have a goals progress tracker. So this is mostly for if you're saving for something specific. For this example, I've done an American holiday. This will track how much you've saved towards it. You can set a target date, you can set how much you start with, what you need, and then just track the amount that you put in over time. And then you can see when you've got to the savings goal that you need for whatever this is. Anything. It can be absolutely anything. And this will also track all of the data for you on this integrated template. So that is the overview of all of the information, but there are specific pages for all of these things. They're a little bit easier to see how the detail works. So we'll go through those now. There is an accounts overview page, and this is everything that was at the top of the main dashboard, but just broken down. So we've got the same gallery view here where you can see all of the data, but there is also a data form, so a table form of the data in case you prefer to view things and edit things that way. So for an account, you would set up your starting balance, and then as you add income and expenses, transfers, etc. through this account, they will automatically pull into these columns, so you don't have to do anything on the account page other than set your starting balance. We then have a category view down the bottom, just in case you would like to see it in that form. And these also have a formula that will work out your current balance for you. If you're in the negative, this will be red and bolded so that it's quite obvious for you. Otherwise, it will just look like this. It'll just be a regular bold. So if we go into one of the accounts, you can see here, this will show all of your funds as they are. You would set the bank it is, the type of account it is. As I mentioned, there's a few options. Just select whichever one works for your account in question. You can also make it inactive. So this will just show your active accounts. And in case you have one that you close, it was just for something short term, then you can get rid of it, but the data will still be there. It'll just be inactive. And then if you scroll down, there is a view that will show all of your income, expenses, and transfers into this account in a overview in case you need to see it. And this is the same for all of these accounts, and that is set up as an automatic template. So every time you make a new account, all that data will automatically pull in for you and you don't have to worry about setting it up. I've also set all of the links to the other pages along the top, so everything is super easy to navigate to. So now we have the income page. This one is very similar. You have your monthly target view that was shown on the main dashboard. You can also go to all time, and this will show your total income ever. Everything you've input into this income stream will show here. And we again have a data view, so you can set your monthly target for everything all in one go here. And these will stay for each month, like I mentioned. So this is sort of, as this changes, so for example, if you have a $300 target one month, but the next month you want to up this, you will need to update it. And there isn't a historical record of this, unfortunately. This is sort of just like a rolling system. Down here, we sort of have the input section. So this is where you can add new income. So for example, just click new, enter what it is. Let's say it's a salary, then just tab across and say, I don't know, your salary was $500. You want to attach this to the salary income type. You would do this for whatever the income type is. Tab across again and select which account this money went into. So for me, this would be my spending account. And then this is the really important part for the data tracking. You need to ensure you attach it to the correct month and then the correct year. And what I do to make this really easy as I'm filling it out is I just tab across. Just hit tab, enter it in, and this will automatically select today's date as you enter it in from this section. Of course, if you want to change this, if you're doing it for a previous day or you're doing it in advance, whatever, just select in here and change the date. Something else I've done is I've set up some buttons. So salaries, for example, are quite frequent. They're on a regular schedule. They're the same amount each week or month generally. So I've set up a button here. So if you click add salary, this will open up a page for you where all of this is already selected, and all you will have to do is add in the month and the year. To be fair, I've removed the amount, but you can add that in that button if you would like. If you want to make this really easy as well, you can go in and just select this cog and edit it. And as I mentioned, input the amount here. You could also add the year as 2024. And at the end of the year, just remember to go and update that button and change it to whichever year is relevant at the time. You could do this for the month too, and then just update it each month. It's completely up to you. I haven't done this for now, just so it's not too confusing, but that is an option. The same thing I've done for Etsy Payout and YouTube AdSense. They are just buttons that will automatically go into those sections where I want them to. If you don't want these, feel free to just delete them. They're not attached to anything important. You can easily delete these buttons. The expense page is exactly the same, but for expenses, funnily enough. So for example, the month budget is showing the same view as the dashboard as I showed before. The all time is once again going to give you your total expenses for these categories. That might be a little bit depressing, so feel free to delete this view if you don't actually want to know that figure. And then there is a data view, again the same as before. So just select your monthly budget for these items. It will pull in your expenses automatically and it will work out how much you have remaining automatically. So there's not too much for you to do other than to input your income and expenses as they happen. The exact same process of how to add an expense as you would add an income. So let's just say phone bill, tab across, it was $50, add it to utilities and whichever account the bill was charged to. So let's just say this was personal bills, it was this month and it was this year. And then that's automatically going to attach it to the utilities. Currently we've spent $100 this month, so we've got $50 left to spend for the month. For all of the inputs, I have this in the income section as well. This month will automatically filter. You don't need to update this. It's going to work that out itself. This year is going to do the same thing, and it's going to be broken down into months. There's only July data for now, but each month will have its own little view that you can open or close as you wish for what you want to view. And then there is an all records section again, which is just everything. And then we have the transfers page, which is very similar to the other two in terms of how the input works. But this is, for example, like your salary goes all into one account, but you want to transfer some savings to your financial goals. You want to transfer some money to your savings account. You want to put some money on your credit card. So this works in exactly the same way. You just select a new item. You do savings for American holiday. We did $20. The type of transfer that it is, you just select from the drop down. The account that you're pulling it from, you select that. And then the account to, you'll ignore because it's not going to an account specifically. You will go tab across again to the fund goals option and select American holiday. And this will automatically pull the date for you. The only difference between transferring to accounts is, let's just say, credit card payment, as I've done above, $20, movement from spending to MasterCard. And that will automatically transfer the money from your spending account into your MasterCard account. So that's just an easy way to keep all of your accounts up to date correctly. So here we have the subscriptions page. So this is for tracking any kind of frequent bill that you have. For example, a bill that could be like Netflix, you pay that monthly, whatever frequency that happens to be, weekly, monthly, fortnightly. So you'll add these in here as you have them or update these ones. I find, again, the data view is the best place to do this. So this is all quite a complicated formula, so try not to mess with this database too much. But for example, our car insurance we've set to weekly. You'll enter here the amount that the bill costs you. So let's just say that's $20 a week. This will automatically work out for you that the monthly cost is $80 and the annual cost is $960. If this was actually a fortnightly payment, this updates the monthly cost and it updates the annual cost. So these all work out the funds based on what you select in the billing. So again, I'll show you a different example. If this one was $50 monthly, that's $50 a month, $600 a year. If it was quarterly, it's $12.50 a month, $150 a year. Weekly, $200 a month, $2,400 a year. I've just displayed, because it wasn't showing, but it should have been, the charge date and the renewal date also. So you enter the date that the bill was charged to you, whenever you most recently noticed. This doesn't really matter. And because of the monthly, fortnightly recurrence, this will work out the renewal date for you. So as you can see, Netflix is a monthly bill. We were charged on June 9th, so the renewal date is July 9th. And these will automatically update themselves and show in this little view to let you know that it renews on July 21st, July 9th. And this, once July 9th has passed, this will change and update again to be the next month. So it will show August 9th. So again, this page is super handy. A lot of it is all automatic. You don't have to do anything other than just enter the bill amount, enter the date, you're done. These can be active or inactive. There is a history view down the bottom to show your inactive ones, and you can just have them down there in case there's anything potentially you want to resubscribe to later down the track. We then have a reporting page, which I find super handy to see everything in an overview. So this is where the month and year data that is shown on the main dashboard comes from. So each month, your total income as entered from the income page will show against the corresponding month, as July is the only month we've done, so that's the only one with data. The expenses again will pull into the total expenses and it will give you a net income. This will be obviously in the positive within budget if it's a positive number. This will show as overspent and it will be red if you're in the negative and you've spent more than you've earned that month. I've set up this year, next year, and 2026 all good to go. Once these have passed and you need to add some more years in, I would do this again from the data field. Just make the next month, add it to the correct year, so you'll have to add a new year if you don't have that set up as well. And just be sure to add the dates in. So the start date and the end date for that month. And the same for the years. You want to select the date, start and end date of the year, because this is how the filtering is working on the main dashboard. So you need those dates in there. And these also, again, will have your income and expenses for the year automatically pulled in, as well as any goals attached to that year. And the same thing for the month. So if we open up July, this will show a total income for this month, total expenses, expense categories, net income, our budget utilization. And then down here, we have all the data that is attached to that information. And then our last page is the financial goals. So this is where you can add a new goal, and there is the savings record of the money that you've put towards these goals. And I've already showed you all the data for that before, so there's not really anything to see here. There is just, again, a data section in case you would prefer to view it in a table format and enter all your information in that way. The only page I haven't shown you, just because it's kind of irrelevant, is the database pages. This is where all of the information lives. So basically you can ignore this page, but do not delete this page or everything will stop working. And I mean literally the whole template will stop working. That is an overview of my finance tracker. It's complicated in a sense, but for you as the user, it should be really simple and really easy to use. So I really hope that you guys enjoy this template. Let me know in the comments below if you do. It is, of course, from my Etsy store. It is a paid template. I will link it down below if you want to check it out. If you have any suggestions for other templates that you would like me to create, do let me know. I have an updated Second Brain coming very soon, which has a whole lot of new pages, including this one, that was not originally included with my Second Brain. So it is going to be like a ultimate Second Brain 2.0 kind of situation. But again, I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.